Alright, so welcome to today's class. I'm happy to see you again on my channel. My name is Sabot from Reducon Online Learning. Alright, today we'll be talking about motion. I know that you'll be hearing about motion in physics, and this topic might have been a problem to you, but I promise you that by the end of this, subscribe to my channel. Alright, so let's introduce motion. So I'm going to talk about the types of motion and the cause of motion. And after this, please anticipate a video on the Jamb and WAEC past questions on this particular topic. Now, what is motion? Motion is the change in position of a body from one point to another. All right. So this is a car at point X, and it moves to point Y. It has changed position. So the reason why it changed position from point X to point Y is what? Motion. So we can say that motion is the change of position of a body or an object for one point to another. All right. Now in physics, whenever we talk about motion, we bring two concepts into consideration. The first one is kinematics, and the second one is dynamics. Kinematics, and second one is dynamics. Now, what is kinematics? Kinematics is the study of the motion of a body without putting in respect, without considering what is causing it to move. All right, we just know that this can move from point X to point Y, but we are not asking what caused it to move. But when we are talking about dynamics, we are not putting in consideration what is causing this particular object to move from point X to point Y. Please, if you have any question, do it to relate it in the comment section. I'll be glad to answer your questions. All right. No, Sabot is the best teacher in the world, so I don't want you to miss out. All right. So we have the types of motion. We have basically 5 types of motion. All right. So what are the 5 types of motion? First of all, we have the random motion. All right. From the word random, it means that there's no specific target. It's just moving haphazardly, zigzag, in a zigzag manner. For example, the motion of smoke particles, you just see smoke moving like this. Same thing with gas molecules. Okay, the same thing with the motion of a butterfly. All these are the examples of what? Random motion. All right. Now, secondly, we have the rotational motion. So this is the motion of a body like in a circle around about a fixed point. All right, this is the motion of a body in a circle about a fixed point. For example, the motion of the blades of an electric fan. You can see an electric fan. I can't draw so well, so just manage my drawing. So they are moving like this, moving like this. All right. So about this fixed point, the motion of the 9 planets about the sun, the motion of the wheels of a tire about a fixed point. All right. So that is rotational motion for you. Thirdly, we have oscillatory or vibratory motion. Oscillatory or motion. So this is the to and fro motion of a, all right, in a repeated manner. The to and fro motion of a body in a repeated manner. To and fro, to and fro, to and fro. For example, the beating of the heart. Loop, doop, loop, doop, loop, doop, loop, doop. It doesn't stop. If it stops, that means you are dead. So it is a to and fro motion. Another example is the motion of the prunes of a tuning fork. If you hit a tuning fork in the laboratory, what happens is that it will start moving like this. Vibration. That is to and fro, to and fro, to and fro. Do you understand? Another example is the motion of a rocking chair. Another example is the motion of a loaded test tube in water. It moves like this. Like this. Another example is the motion of a loaded spiral spring. I don't know if you can remember those key holders we used to use in primary and secondary school. When you put the key, it's like moving like this. So that is actually what? Oscillatory or vibratory motion. Even the motion of a loaded pendulum. If you push it, it moves like this. Even the motion of Jamb. Many examples, and you can even demonstrate it in your house. All right. The next type of motion, we have talked about random, rotational, oscillatory, or vibratory. The next one is translational. Translational or rectilinear. So this is the motion From the word linear, rectilinear, the straight line motion of a body from one point to another. Remember, from point A to point B, all right, in space without rotating. For example, when a car moves from junction A to junction B without rotating in a straight line. When OB treks from this junction to this junction without turning, that is what? Translational or rectilinear motion. All right. So the last type of motion we are going to be talking about is the circular motion. Circular motion is a movement of a body about a curved path. All right, about a curved path, but not about a fixed point. All right, it's about a curved path. For example, the motion of a car around a roundabout. All right, a car moving across a roundabout, it moves like this. That's a curved path. Then an aeroplane changing direction, the aeroplane can just move like this. Okay, a car turning, but not about a fixed point. All right, so this circular motion is another topic on its own in physics. So subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out when I post it. All right, now we're going to talk about the cause of motion. Now, the cause of motion. Motion cannot just happen on its own. Something must push a body to start moving, and that is called what? Force. Force is the basic and fundamental cause of motion. Remember the second law of Newton. It states that a body will continue in a state of rest or in a state of uniform motion in a straight line unless being compelled to act otherwise by an external force or external agency. All right, for example, this board will not move. It will continue being like this for the next 20 years unless I come and push it. That is when motion will occur. A car will be moving, keep moving, except you apply the brake to stop it. So that brake that you applied is actually a force. So force can cause a body that is static to start moving. It can cause a body that is moving to stop. It can also cause a body that is moving to change direction. Remember, you are going to put a force on the steering to move that car, all right, to change direction. All right, so that is what force is all about. So in our next class, we're talking about force. We're going about the types of force, contact and non-contact, juicy calculations that will help you to ace your WAEC and Jamb examination. I am Sabot and I'm the best teacher in the world. Subscribe to this channel and thank you for joining today's class. Bye.